how to actually start building your own capsule closet that is sustainable. And on my channel, we're going to do the video about budgeting and the transition and the mindset. The next video is going to be on her channel with where to get the items and how to shop for sustainable materials and brands. So let's get started.
Yeah, kind of a beginner's guide.
Oh, of course. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I know this looks a little bit different from what you're used to seeing on the video frame, but today is a special day because I have a guest. So the guest is known as Chicprofessor, and she will let you know who she is in a minute. So hi, welcome.
Hi. Thank you. I'm so excited to be here. My name is Jessica. For those of you who don't know, my handle on Instagram and on YouTube is Chicprofessor. I am a professor. I teach at a fashion business college right now, and I teach communication. And I'm really interested in sustainable fashion, luxury goods, and workwear. Those are sort of where I focus all of my energy and what I sort of make videos about and post about on Instagram. I do a lot of workwear OOTDs and that sort of thing, though taken a bit of a break during the pandemic, but that's what I do.
I found her channel and I was obsessed with the sustainability videos she creates. She also make brand videos that are dedicated to tell you, is this brand sustainable or not? Please go and check those videos out. They're very beneficial. And she will help us today. The very first point is the power of wish lists. And the power of wish lists, as you know, we always have these marketing campaigns all around us, and we buy things and we barely use them and end up thinking that, okay, it was cheap item that I can get and I can put aside, it's fine, I just paid 10 euros or $10 on it and it doesn't matter. But in the bigger picture, when you add up all the impulse purchases that you've created and you've indulged in, they add up into a price of one item that could have been really, really good. So how wish lists help? They help you miniature those impulse purchases and buy only the things that you really, really see a lot, you want a lot, you look into them more, and it allows you to think about them twice when you're purchasing them.
The next thing I would say is when it comes to budgeting, a lot of times we'll be like, oh, well, I can't imagine that I would spend more than 20 euros in your case, or dollars in mine, I'm in the US, but $20 on something this month. I don't spend that much on fashion. But actually, if you go back and you look at your past purchases, maybe look at the past year, maybe not 2020, maybe look at 2019 and really add up how much you spent on fashion items. That can give you a really good idea of what's a realistic budget for you. And then you can say, okay, well, I know last year I overspent, or I know last year I did what I had in my means, but I have a little more means this year. And you can really figure out your budget based on those past habits.
The next point is having an investment mindset. An investment mindset is basically you thinking about things a little bit more analytically. Think about, is this material is going to be strong enough to live with me long enough that if I get bored with it, I can give it to someone or sell it? That's an investment mindset. When you impulse purchase something that once you wash it once or twice, it gets crumbled, it just loses its shape, or even the stitching on it just gets unraveled, that's not an investment mindset. That's just, again, contributing to this impulse purchase that does not help you choose items that are going to save you both money and at the same time save you the quality, and you will be enjoying that item for much longer than if it is not an investment piece.
Definitely. I know for me, my rule of thumb is usually I don't bring it into our house if I can't sell it and make my money back if it doesn't work out for me. Yeah. So sometimes I'm able to make money, sometimes I lose a little bit of money, but it's really just a small amount. And it, especially when you're buying things online, you don't know if they're going to fit, you don't know if they're going to work. So really knowing that you can sell that back because you've got a good enough deal and it is high enough quality and it is sought after enough, that makes a huge difference with buying pieces that really are investments. And as you said, not ones that are going to last 2 wears and then fall apart. That's money that's just burnt. There's nothing you can do with that item anymore after that.
True. Very true.
So the next point is it's a very used kind of trope in the world of buying, I guess, higher end pieces or buying investment pieces. A lot of people talk about the cost per wear. And basically what that means is how many times can you wear this item? And if you divide the cost by that, it can actually be very, very small. So if you buy a pair of shoes and you wear them 100 times a year and you wear them for 20 years, if those shoes cost $200, I mean, you're spending a penny. I don't do math very well. Maybe 10 cents, right? Is how much that actually costs you per wear. Whereas if you go to a Zara and you buy a shirt for $20 and it lasts you 2 wears, that's a $10 cost per wear. That's actually pretty high. So if you think about that, then that can sometimes help you to justify spending a little bit more on pieces that really will last a lifetime.
It's always fascinating when people think like, okay, I need to only buy things that are fancy or expensive for special occasions, but that's actually even costing you more on the long run than if you really buy an item for your everyday use and get the cost per wear. Yeah, that's a really good point.
It's usually like wedding dresses and special occasion dresses are the absolute worst cost per wear items that you can get. I mean, you know, exactly. Obviously they're special and that's a different category a lot of times, but yeah, really thinking about what you wear, what's going to last, how many wears you're going to really get out of something. It can really make the a lot of times we call it like fashion economics, right? The spending behind these pieces really make a lot more sense.
The next point is planning your closet for your needs. All the time we follow Instagram gurus and influencers and Pinterest boards that has things that look amazing, and we put them in our wish list and we end up buying them and never using them. And that is a big problem because again, you're losing money on something that you could have bought and it suits your lifestyle and your daily use way better. So planning for your needs, it's very important. There is a sentence that I've mentioned in a video before. I think for my followers, they would know that. Your style lies in between your laundry basket, what you have in the laundry basket, and your Pinterest boards. It's a mix between those two sides. It's what you wish to wear and what you actually end up comfortably wearing on the daily. So planning a closet for your needs is going to first save you a lot of money and at the same time allow you to think more analytically about what you allow in and what you don't.
I love that. I love that saying. Did you come up with that yourself?
Yeah.
So good. I love it. So the next point is shopping your own closet. A lot of times we assume that we don't have something that is going to fill that need. Once we figure out what that need is, once we have that wish list, we're like, okay, well, we have to go out and buy these new things. But actually, a lot of times, if you really go through your closet, and I mean take everything out, like look through everything, find the things that are going to work best for you, that still fit you well, that flatter you, that really speak to your style, and you're probably going to find things you just forgot about, because I would say 99% of us wash things, put them in the front of our closet or something that's easy to access, and then we just wear those same things all the time, and we kind of forget about the things that are hidden away, especially if you don't have a big closet where you can see everything. So shopping your own closet is the most sustainable thing that you can do, and really can make a big difference towards your budget, because you might find that, oh, I actually had things that filled this gap. Now I can allocate a little bit more money towards something else.
Yeah. Totally agree. And even so, sometimes you would, like when I used to live with my grandparents, you would sometimes be allowed to take things from your grandma, and I would shop her closet at the same time. You'll be surprised how fashion actually gets recreated, like styles that go back from the 90s, they're now in. And sometimes I think like, okay, maybe I will go take something from my grandma's closet because it will totally suit me right now. It's always a good idea. Yeah.
I have a few pieces from my grandma that I love, and a bunch of stuff from my mom. But my mom will come and shop my closet all the time.
Well.
And I'll go and shop hers. Yeah. You know, you can do that with friends too. You can discover things that maybe you're less interested in that might be exactly what they're looking for.
The next thing is, you would be surprised the things you have that you never use and you never like, if you decide to sell them, how much people would want them. I remember the first time I set an eBay account and I started to sell my things, and I would put something like that I absolutely don't think it has a value of any sort. But I'd be surprised that people would be wanting to pay money for it. And I told myself I'll save money from all of this and I would make a purchase of something that I really have on my wish list and I really, really want to add to my collection. And I think if you really make sure that you sit, you edit what you have, see what you really don't think is worth it, and put it for selling and see how it does. Not only selling, but also making sure that you check your local thrift stores. Sometimes when you give them items, they give you a voucher to shop something, and that I think is a way to keep things in a sustainable cycle, and that is very, very helpful as well. So how you get rid of things is as important as adding them into your closet, as always.
So the last point that I'm going to bring up is about mindset. We live in this mindset right now where we feel like we just need, when in fact that's not at all true. A lot of times people will be like, well, I can't afford sustainable fashion because it's expensive. Well, you know what? 30 years ago, when fast fashion wasn't a thing, people didn't go around and just be naked. When they had clothes, they just didn't have as many, or they bought things or created things that lasted a long time. So it's really shifting this mindset. A lot of times I can't remember who said it now, but there's a really great quote that says something like, sustainable fashion isn't the trend, excess is the trend. True. And it's one that we need to get rid of immediately. Very true. We have been sustainable for like thousands of years, right? True. People have had clothes that have lasted them a long time. It's just this new excess that we just keep falling into this trap that we need more and more and more. And influencer culture doesn't help necessarily, True. You know? And so we keep seeing things and just thinking we need the new trendiest thing. We just need to show it once on Instagram and then we don't need it again. Mm-hmm. That's a complete mindset issue. It is not an actual issue for you to have clothing that fits you. So really trying to alter that mindset, and you can start very, very small, you know, and work your way towards a larger mindset shift. But that will make a huge difference to not only your budget, but your actual closet.
Very, very true. I think if I add to this point one thing, I remember when I was younger, my grandfather always likes to wear hats. He doesn't go outside without a hat. And I saw one of his hats. It was like, I think, an expensive brand. And at the time I asked him, wow, how can you afford something like this? Because I see him, he's just a simple man. But with this hat, I saw the brand and I was fascinated. I cannot recall what was it. But I remember him telling me, because at the time, those brands that you think they're very fancy and they're very expensive, we only went to shop at them when we needed the item. So in winter, I need a winter hat. I go to this shop and I buy it. And it's a one winter hat that I would need and I would use. They wouldn't have it because it will show their style or anything. It was just for the purpose of it. So when I need this item, I would put it in its place with the best quality that I can get. And that mindset is what's healthier than what we have right now, I think. Yeah. Absolutely.
And that doesn't mean that you can't showcase your style, yeah. Right? There are ways to change up what you have, but it's just this excess. We don't need 18 little white shirts, yeah, or 18 going out shirts, or something like that. It's just that's an unnecessary thing. And a lot of times people talk about the French chic mindset, mm-hmm. right? A lot of times French shoppers are more likely to buy classic quality items and have a much smaller closet than a lot of other places, mm-hmm. Especially the U.S. I think the U.S. is particularly bad about excess, yeah. So that they always look chic, right? It's not mm-hmm. like we're not seeing the style. It's just we don't have to see them in 18 of the same looking shirt. Just, yeah. Whatever. I don't know why I keep choosing the number 18.
18. Lucky 18. Maybe it's your lucky number. Yeah. I mean, which will bring me to my next point. It's the idea of identifying your style. That's very important to know, because your style, when you look at celebrities, they're always glamorous. They're not glamorous because they follow trends. They're trendsetters, but the most important part is that they have stylists that study their body shape, that study their skin undertone, that tells them which white shirt is the perfect cut, fit, and even white tone, because you would know that things are not as it seems. White, there is a cool undertone white, there is a neutral white, and there is a warm undertone white. Which one would I pick? I wouldn't just have, as you said, 18 shirts without knowing what's the perfect cut, fit on me, and even the neckline. It's all things that really contribute. So knowing my style is what fits me, again. So we add that edge to what's in my laundry basket. So what I am comfortable wearing / what fits me and what I like to see on others. The combination of these three things really is what makes the style of a person suits them and look good on them and be comfortable as well to them. And if you identify your style, you would no more need to follow trends. You would automatically have a capsule that is comfortable and that is invested in and well rotated, and budget wise it will not hurt your budget, because you will be very analytical about what you add in. You wouldn't feel the need to keep adding and adding, because at the end of the day you have things that really suit you, and it's kind of like your uniform. So for me, it's like when I don't know what to wear, it's always, I have this uniform. I have a white jumpsuit. I just put it on, and any jacket or cardigan, and that's my uniform. I'm comfortable in it. I know that suits my body shape, and that's it. So once you know these things, it's gonna be so easy to make a budget and to make a plan and to really shop sustainably and get items that really will benefit you.
Yeah, it makes a huge difference. It took me a few years to really like hone in on my style, figure out exactly what it was. And once I did, I mean, I can look at something, I can see a new collection come out. If it's a brand that I'm really interested in and I want to add a piece from, I'll look at it and I'll be like, oh, no, that won't work for me. I mean, I can just tell by looking at an item what's going to look good, what's going to fit in with the rest of my wardrobe, what my style really is. And, when you're doing something like Instagram and you're really seeing your style all the time, I think that also helps. Taking a picture of what you're wearing every day can help you to figure out what that is. And then you can also, if you have to explain your style to other people, I think it makes you reflect on it a little bit more and figure out really what works best for you.
Very true. Thank you so much for joining me on making this video and for giving the great tips that you gave. Make sure to go and check the next video or part 2 of that video on her channel, and make sure to subscribe to her channel as well. Really, she has gems of videos, so check that. Comment down below what you agree on or you disagree. I would love to know that. And like this video if you like the idea, and maybe we make more of these collaborations together.
Yes, it was so fun. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it, and I love that we have connected and we're creating a lot of similar interesting content. So thank you again for having me, and you had really, really great points as well. I hope that is helpful for everybody.
Yes, okay. Bye.